Hey guys, welcome to Zoom to TBT with Charge and Hayner. Tonight we got the team of brotherly love with GM Danny Holdsman and small forward Novar Gadson. Gents, what's going on tonight?
Nothing much. Thanks for having us on.
All right, so let's just jump right into the team, Team Brotherly Love. Why don't you tell us a little bit how you formed the team last year and how you got involved with TBT, Danny, and getting these guys together from Philly?
Yeah, definitely. I certainly can't take credit for getting them together. It's our second year under the name of Brotherly Love and the second year that I've been involved. But they've been together for a while, predating TBT. I know a couple of the guys played together on a semi-rider alumni team back in, what was that, Novar, 2015?
Yeah, I think 16.
2016, and then 2017, they were more fully together as Talladega Knights. Went to the Super 16, and at that time I was actually an intern for TBT. I had covered TBT for a local Philly website in 2015, and then on the content side for TBT in 2017, and just really fell in love with the team, their play style, their chemistry, talent, the fact that they were from Philly. I'm Philly born and raised. And then last summer I had gotten involved with the team in an assistant role, and this summer I'm taking over as GM. So I think it's more or less the same roster since 2017 with a couple additions and subtractions, but I think it's safe to say that this is certainly our best roster yet, and I think Novar would agree with that.
Okay, well, that's always really interesting. Now, you guys were with Talladega Knights, though, originally. It's kind of funny because that was the story about how one guy named a team just to meet Will Ferrell. Novar, did you play for that team?
Yeah, that was actually my first time playing back with this group that we're with now. Again, Danny touched based on our group, but we split up for a little bit. A couple of guys played with another team in TBT, but we always been brothers. And we talked right after that, right after both of us, the set of guys lost, that we got to get back together because we always been together. I forgot. I think the team was ran by Ray Chain. He was a great guy, really, really great guy. But we had our own vision of what we wanted to do as a group, and we sticking by it, and we making the necessary adjustments to pull off, this summer's championship that we all got the expectation of.
Hang on, we actually are having a little bit of difficulty. Charge, you're not coming through. It's the nature of these podcasts when you're doing things through Zoom.
I think I have it.
Okay,
now.
That's okay. Charge, we just can see your pretty face. Sometimes the sound doesn't come through. We're just gonna. We see your face. That's pretty good.
Don't worry about the content on Zoom to TBT. Tune in to watch Charge's face.
Okay, Charge. What were you saying before you were cut off?
Who even knows anymore? Obviously, Team Brotherly Love. Dealt a really good hand getting these folks from Talladega Knights over, and I know Novar, it's your fifth year in, and I haven't seen it on the TBT website yet, but I know Coach Parrish was kind of co-GM, head coach last year. Is he going to be coming back for 2020? Obviously, a big part of the success of the teams in the past.
It's up in the air. We made the adjustments and added a new head coach. We have two really good assistant coaches. They are three great basketball minds. Tony's like family to us, and him not being there is just not up in the air. It's still up in the air, you know what I mean? So we would love to have him, but we made a lot of adjustments that some people wasn't too fond of, you know what I mean? So again, Tony Parrish is family, so we are as you guys can see when we play, we are a really, really close group, and we take a lot of pride in that, you know what I mean? So that he plays a big part of our success. But again, the adjustments and everything just didn't meet a lot of people's expectations.
Yeah, no, it's pretty wild. I mean, I always think a lot of people don't understand about Philadelphia. I mean, I moved here to New York City from the Midwest and the South, and Philly gets this bad rap as being grimy and mean. And it's one of the nicest cities I've actually been to in the East Coast. I really like it. But how does that Philly ethos come out in your game? How do you guys represent the city in the way you play?
I think that's why we changed the name to Brotherly Love. Not all of us are from Philly either. France, he's from Trenton. Samaj is also from New Jersey. We have Victor, Craig Victor now on the roster. He's really, really great addition. He's from New Orleans, but he resides in Houston. And those guys fit exactly how the style that we play, which is gritty, grimy. We're very, very skilled group. We got a lot of players that's interchangeable. And I think us being together, we've been together for this during this COVID-19. Of course, we're trying to practice social distancing, but we all got to get in shape. So we haven't been together this early. So I think that's dangerous for any competition.
Right on. So sticking with Philly, let me ask you, Danny. So it sounds like you're the native there. So cheesesteaks. So if somebody was going to stop in Philadelphia and Novar, you probably eating a couple. Where are we going for our cheesesteaks there?
That's an easy answer for me. D'Alessandro's is right around the corner for me. I think most people, I wouldn't say all, but most people who know this city well would say D'Alessandro's. There's a couple others that are up there. I would definitely say Jim's, Max's. A lot of people like their local spots, but definitely would advise against Pat's and Gino's. I think anyone who knows the area would advise against those two.
Yeah, D'Alessandro's is definitely one of the best. But Danny forgot one of the best cheesesteak spots in Philadelphia on South Street, Ishkabibbles.
Ishkabibbles, I knew you were saying that.
Ishkabibbles is really, really good.
Yeah, so you guys got the good scoop on that. Whenever I have to go out there for work, everyone wants to either go to Gino's or Pat's, I believe is the other one you said, Danny. So that's all I've experienced. It was good, but I've got to try one of these other places that you guys recommend. So Novar, let's build off of that COVID comment that you mentioned. So how are you staying in shape with COVID? Are you able to get in any gyms, get in practice or workouts with any of the guys yet?
I'm actually in my garage right now. I turned my garage into a gym. I'm putting a bunch of equipment in here, balance balls. I got a squat bar, a bench press station. So this is how I'm staying in shape. And then we got a small location that gets sanitized every day, every morning, every night that the group goes in, and it's just us, just a group. We make sure that everybody got, not everybody's, not tested, but make sure that everything is safe. And people are not so worried because, some people have children, we want to put that at risk. So the group has been together, just a group, and we have the coaches directing a, small workout, and it's been really, really well. It's been going really well the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's got to be tough to stay prepared, especially with everything going on right now. My workouts have fallen off, as you can probably tell from the roundness of my face growing in. But listen, Philly guys are known to be great shit talkers on the court. We got Penn in the house. We got Drexel in the house. We got other Big Five guys in the house. Like, what is the most Philly shit talking you guys have in practice? Like, what is the most representative nonsense we're going to hear?
Var, you can take that one.
I'm from Philly. I'm from Philly, but I don't know. I'm not the type to talk trash. I just play. I let my play talk trash. You know what I mean? So if you talk shit to me, then that'll hit a switch. You know what I mean? And it'll turn me on. But we're just competitive. You know what I mean? We're just competitive. We go in there, we work our ass off, and we challenge each other. And I think by us challenging each other in multiple areas of the damn game, it makes us better. You know what I mean? It makes us better. And then might be a couple fist fights. You just don't know. It gets down like that. But then at the end, we shaking hands and we're brothers.
Right on. Yeah, so let's dig into that Syracuse regional a little bit from last year. When I was going through and kind of looking at some of the folks who advanced to the Elite 8 year, the round of 8 last year, you guys probably had the toughest path. That Jimmy V's team is really, really good, and they're looking great again this year. Then to beat Armored Athlete, who's got a real storied history, then to beat Syracuse at home is just amazing run, and definitely wanted to pass to the 8. So we'll start with you, David. Just tell us about the environment in Syracuse. We've talked to some folks about Wichita and how crazy that was. What was the environment in Syracuse and for a TBT fan and for you guys playing in front of those guys?
Yeah, that environment was awesome. Nothing but respect for all those Syracuse fans. I mean, to see them lined up around the arena at like 11 a.m. for a 2 p.m. tip-off, they're everything you can expect out of fans for an event like that. Definitely major props to guys like Kevin Belby putting that team together every year. But I think from our side, it was just coming in really – I mean, we love the underdog stuff. I mean, obviously the Eagles carried that to their 2017 Super Bowl, and our kind of mindset was, listen, like I I listened to the podcast before. It was going back like, whose region is this? Armor Athletes or Bayham's Army? And we're like, well, good. No one's talking about us, and no one's really thinking about us. And we kind of used that to our advantage. Got a little bit of momentum going in that first game, and then I think I would say that Armored Athlete game was probably the best 36 minutes we put together in last year's TV. Well, maybe not 36 with the Elam ending, but you get the point. And I mean, that Armored Athlete team was loaded, and a lot of names and a lot of big conferences, big schools. And again, we love that. Not a lot of guys on our team are household names, and I think a lot of guys you see love kind of making themselves known in big games like that. Guys come to mind like Mikkel Stivens had a big block in transition in that game. Sammy Givens hit that half-court shot, which is probably my pick for the shot of the TBT last year. And, I can go down the whole roster, but it applies to everyone. A lot of guys love using their game to make a name for themselves.
Yeah, I got to imagine it was crazy up there. My girlfriend's a huge Cuse fan, and I've been to a couple of games up there, and it's one of the crazier fan bases. I think it's because it's so cold, there's nothing else to do up there generally. It's either watch Cuse basketball or freeze to death. So I'm generally thinking that's why they're into it. But I'm looking at this roster, Danny and Oved, and you got Novar, who's like 6'7", Sammy 6'5". You've got Wyatt, who is 6'4" and a great guard out of Temple. As a Memphis fan, I know how good he is. He tortured us for years. So you've got all these long, lean athletes. Like, how do you construct a roster? What are you trying to run with this group of really switchable guys?
Yeah, I think, again, I can't take credit for roster construction. If anything, that's Novar's area. He's been really grinding to kind of put together the perfect roster. But I've consulted him, and I definitely think just fitting with the trends of basketball, if you can get a lot of long, big wings who can dribble, who can shoot, who can defend, who can switch, it lets you have a lot of versatility on the court and work with a lot of different lineups. If one guy's not on that day, you can have another guy come in and play his role. So I think if we can keep going with the same kind of 8 or 9 guys on any given day who are all playing and playing well, it makes us a dangerous combo up against really any team in the tournament.
Right. So it looks like the big additions this year, we got Craig Victor and Khalif White. And I'll go to you, Novar. As Danny mentioned, you got a big part in kind of constructing this roster. So with the addition of those 2 guys, does that fill the holes that you thought you had from last year? And will this team, if you face Hines again in the round of 8, going to take down Hines this year?
Certainly give us depth. Victor give us the versatility of being 6'9", being able to switch on guards, and being able to push the ball. Khalif is a sniper, and the biggest thing about putting these rosters together is basically getting guys that know how to play. Just know the game, just have a feel for the game. Khalif has one of the biggest IQs I've seen up close in person, and he also knows the guys. He went to school with a lot of guys on the roster. He's played against a lot of guys, and he's a really good person. With these rosters, man, you want to put together a team that likes each other, but also hold each other accountable. You know what I mean? And again, we got a lot of tweeners, which means we can interchange positions. We can switch a lot of stuff, and it wouldn't be any mismatches. It cause a lot of troubles on offense.
Yeah, it's interesting the way basketball's been going the last few years is with positionless basketball, with the Warriors having that lineup of death. Everybody's really starting to go to like, hey, I want to have 6'3" to 6'9" everywhere with long limbs and switch everything. It's really changed the way things are played. And I love that word, Novar. I love that word, accountability. Winners care about accountability. You want your guys to ask you, to keep it real and stay playing. Look at this region again, though. The Army, you got to get through them again. Gale Nation, Team Dreddy, D3. You got some intriguing new teams. The Bonnies are coming in. Hank Gathers with the Philly guy, Rick Jackson at power forward. It's a really stacked roster. To get to Hines, you got to get through these guys first. What would be a fair seed for you guys? And, what do you think your chances are, honestly, of pulling the same trick twice? Are you guys a 1 seed? Did you earn it?
I think me personally, I'm playing in this tournament the last fourth.
It'll be your 5th, yeah.
Oh, my 5th. Okay, my apologies.
Yeah, sideline.
Sideline cancer. I did. Yeah, I did. I damn sure did. Damn,
you played with sideline? Really? You played with sideline?
Yeah. I forgot about that, bro. I did. Yep. I damn sure did. Before I played with Talladega Nights. Yep.
Gotcha.
But I think with this group that I'm involved with now, I think we earned it. We won the region the last 2-3 years. Whatever region we're in, we won. So I think we do deserve the #1 seed, you know what I mean? But I understand that, you know, the region is hosted by Syracuse. But again, like we love the underdog. You can give us the 8th seed. We can play whatever. We can play whoever, and we're going to go out there. And again, we're going to be together. We're going to go and hold each other accountable. We're going to try to minimize mistakes because it's a one-and-done tournament. But for the most part, man, we just want to go out there and play basketball and show who we are. And again, I think that this is our best chance with this roster to win the whole tournament.
Yeah, so Danny, I want to pull you in a little bit here. So obviously, you guys have the luxury of having the same core of players coming back for the 3rd consecutive year. Your roster is already set. I think probably every verification video is in, which people are saying that's about the only benefit of the COVID situation is that folks are available.
Something good.
To send their videos in. So what's your focus as a GM between now and June 15th when the application period is done? Are you starting to eyeball this region that we just mentioned, or where's your focus from a strategizing and planning standpoint?
Definitely. I think, well, the first thing I want to make sure all of our coaches get up on that website. People can kind of see who they are. And then aside from that, looking to really lock down a sponsor, which is one thing that we kind of dragged our feet on a bit last year. And I think it's a team and a program a lot of people should want to be associated with. So hopefully I can get one of those because we do have 12. So that's $3,000 we're looking to not have to take out of our pockets. And then past that, it's just making sure all the guys stay together. I mean, hopefully if this COVID situation settles down, we're looking to have a team dinner and kind of get everyone on the same page and just kind of avoid any little problems that can come up. I think what we saw last year is if you let things kind of go under the rug, they'll eventually bubble over. So just get everything settled, get everyone on the same page. And like you said, 3rd time, it's cliche, but 3rd time's a charm. A lot of guys on this team are, no offense, Novar, they're getting up there in age. But also,
I'm 30. Don't do that to me. I'm 30.
Oh shit!
You're only 30.
Hey, just because you're 11 years old doesn't mean the rest of us are old.
Exactly.
What the hell, man? Can you even buy beer, Danny? What are you talking about? Age? Come on now.
I just turned 21.
Took a shot.
I think like you're saying. I mean, a lot of guys on the team, Novar, Shannon Givens, Wayne Marshall, just had kids, so there's a lot more mouths to feed. And I think this is the hungriest I've seen our group yet, and I'm hoping if we can just keep that momentum rolling into July and August, then the results will show. But again, it's one and done. So if you don't bring it the first game, you're not going to see a 2nd, 3rd, or 6th game.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild. It has all the trappings of the tournament. You have one bad night, you're out. The shots don't fall, you're out. That's why defense is so important. You can just keep going with that. So back to you, Novar. I'm just curious because we've had a lot of foreign players on here who are playing overseas, obviously because of the nature of the TBT. And a lot of people who follow basketball just don't understand the high quality of play that is played outside the States. Like, what is it like playing in Argentina? Like, how's that league working? How did it shut down? Is it still going on? Do you guys want to resume? Like, quality of play, how is this affecting your lives there?
It's actually my apologies. Somebody tried to call me. It's actually really high quality basketball in Argentina, South America. It's very physical, well scouted. The living situation is decent. It's not the best, but in certain cities it's decent. Like Buenos Aires is the capital of Argentina. It's like New York City. Cordoba. I don't know what city I can compare that to. But there's another city called Mar del Plata. That's the Miami of salt beaches. So living down in Argentina is really, really good. It's beneficial. You get the experience. But playing there is also beneficial. It's a good quality basketball, man. I don't regret it at all. That's why I spent the last 4 seasons there.
All right, so let's talk a little bit. One of our favorite questions is talking about favorite TBT memories, and so let's start with you, Danny. Obviously, you were involved for 1 year with Team Brotherly Love. What's been your favorite moment, or even as a fan watching a game, something you just really remember about the TBT that sticks with you?
Yes. So my memory actually, it's a couple, and it comes full circle. So I remember, I want to say it was 2015, sitting in my grandmom's house watching FOE Team Foe, the Morris twins against Bayham's Army, in what was arguably the best comeback in TBT history. I think
that was in Brooklyn in 18, right?
No, the Foe versus no, I wasn't then. Foe versus Bayham's Army was a couple years back because I was in Brooklyn in person.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. But this was like a quarterfinal game or so, and Bayham's Army made a huge comeback, really impressive. But I obviously was rooting for the Philly team and was a little disappointed. And then a couple of those guys on the Foe team, Vinny Simpson and Scott Rogers, were working out with our guys last year leading up to the TBT. And then I guess the last part of this would be when we went into Syracuse and beat Bayham's Army. Kind of felt like, although it was different teams and not a single guy was from Foe was on our team, it kind of felt like getting the revenge for Philly and for those guys, because they definitely helped prepare us and gave us some insights. So I think that over a couple year stretch and getting that satisfactory win over Bayham's was really cool and something I'll definitely cherish.
Payback's a bitch.
All right, Novar. Good question. So this is, like I said, already going to be your 5th year into TBT. So you've got 4 years experience. What do you remember most about TBT or watching it?
I got to piggyback off of Danny. Just being Syracuse in the Syracuse area, with that hostile crowd, man. Me personally, I take on the road dog, like the road warrior, and I think a lot of our guys take on the same thing, the same type of mentality. So beating them in Syracuse was really one of my best memories as a basketball player.
Yeah, so real quick about Syracuse before I turn it back over to Hayner. So obviously, packed house. It was probably loud. Now, were they trash talking? Was it like a hardcore college game? Were they coming after you guys, or kind of?
And let's be honest. It was Eric Devendorf trash talking. Let's just say what we really mean to say here.
To be honest with you guys, he's really a good person. That's the funny shit. He's really a nice person, man.
I buy that.
I think that I think he trash talks to get himself going. But one thing a person wouldn't do, a lot of guys wouldn't trash talk. They know that it wouldn't get to some guys because that trash talking shit doesn't do anything to any of us. We just gonna go out there and bust your ass.
That makes sense. Sense.
I didn't hear too much. I mean, the fans obviously are passionate. Philly and Syracuse actually dating back. You talked about Rick Jackson have a pretty strong link last year. Hakeem Warwick and BJ Johnson on that team were Philly guys. Rick Jackson, guys like Scoop Jardine. So Philly and Syracuse have long ties. So I think especially that spin move that Sammy Givens put on Hakeem Warwick in the paint was something that may have ignited a little bit of shit talking. I can't speak for Sammy there.
That was filthy.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Well, guys, that seems like a good place to end it. Team of Brotherly Love, Danny Holdsman and Novar Gadson, the Cuse Killers. Thanks for coming on tonight.
Appreciate you having us on, guys.
See y'all in Syracuse, man.
See you guys next time.
See you then.